Hey guys, hi. Welcome to the Travel and Tourism Conclave. I am so happy to see you all. This is the second edition of our conclave, which we do every month. The theme for today is Restart Tourism. Now, with a lot of things happening around the travel and tourism industry, it's imperative that we all regroup and we connect again and we discuss ideas and strategies and implementation plans with the industry leaders at length. And which is why this whole concept, this whole idea of travel and tourism conclave came into existence. I've got an amazing panel for today, and let me invite them one by one. I am sure all my five guest speakers will give you amazing insights, amazing knowledge, amazing tips to restart and to grow your travel and tourism business. So I would like to welcome my first guest, Mr. Vikram Kalra. Vikram is the co-founder of VOYJ. He joins in from New Delhi. Then we have Samir Kumar. Samir is the director of ECOWIN. He joins us again from New Delhi. Then we have Rajkumar Velekar. He is the founder of SHAGUN Tours, and he joins us from Nagpur. Then we have Rajesh Srivastava. He is a founder of SHRUTI Travels, and he joins us from Indore. And then we have got Somnath Das. Somnath is the DGM for Sinclair Hotels, and he joins us from Kolkata. So before I start my series of questions, tell me guys, how do you feel to be on the show? How's life at your end?
It's great, great.
Wonderful, amazing. It's quite challenging as well for many two professionals, as we can see.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Vikram sir, how about you? How's life at your end?
It was difficult for first 2 3 months stuck in the room, but now I'm getting used to it. In fact, with this lockdown, we have found some new opportunities, by doing online course and all that.
Yeah.
So we have turned this poison into medicine. We're trying to do that. That's what I can say.
Superb. I think somebody has got the speaker on. I can hear the echo. Please put your speaker off. Somebody has got the speaker on. Okay, amazing. So let me start the conclave with Vikram sir. Now, Vikram sir, you have been in the business for last 25-30 years. I want to ask you, how do you relate travel and art?
See, my journey started as an artist, and I've been sketching Delhi for it's almost 25 years. Just sketching Delhi and exploring Delhi. I can still hear some voice somewhere, please, if somebody can.
Yeah.
So I've been sketching it. I was following this passion, to explore Delhi. My journey started through Delhi, and my first company was called Journeys Through Delhi. I was initially just doing it Delhi and sketching it, documenting it. I mean, not like a typical tourist guide I was exploring. I was going beyond Qutub Minar and beyond Red Fort and beyond the Indore Gate and all those things. So that twist was there to explore as an artist, look at it in a different way. I started my journey in other parts also. So I've been sketching, the temples of Odisha. I've been sketching Meerut also, which is a small town, or even I'm working on the mutiny of 1857. So you can't neglect art from travel and tourism. If I talk in terms of our particular country, our country has got varied kind of geographical features, from mountains, we have deserts, coastal areas, and the central plateaus as such, central India as such, if you talk, or we talk of the northeast. So all are different. Because of these geographical features, different cultures evolve, different traditions evolve, different food habits evolve, different dressing style evolve. So, for example, if I am doing, if we be, for a common man, mountain is same. If you talk to generally, if we have done northeast in 1 week, I said, what have you done in 1 week? They said, everything is the same. So, which is I just laugh at them, at their ignorance basically. But the travel agencies have to give them a proper product. You can't neglect everything. For example, if I talk of mountains, the mountains of Rishikesh are very basic mountains. If you go to Kinnaur side in Himachal Pradesh, the mountains are totally different. So that is the place where 2/3 of the apples are coming to India. That is the place where you have the culture, the Tibetan influence, which you can definitely see in the features of the people. You can definitely see in the architecture over there. You'll see the dragon also. You'll see Lord Shiva, Lord Ganesha also. And similarly, the jewelry which is there, it is different. It is much different from the jewelry of this. So everything, and over there they do Thanka paintings also, whereas you won't see it in Punjab Hills or you. So it's very important to relate. When I do these tours for the school kids, especially, which I love doing the most for the children, I include, because for them you have to be very specific that this is the culture, how it evolved, what was the history behind it, and because of this particular geographical conditions, these people dress up like this. So you can't separate art and everything. It's all composite as such.
Now, we have known you as a teacher, we have known you as an artist.
Yes.
I'm quite curious to know what made you choose the tourism industry.
See, I used to teach in various design colleges, whether it was Pearl Academy of Fashion, in NIFT also, then MET University also. I was teaching in design. So my subject was basic design, photography, and I was very fond of traditional arts, from the very beginning. So while I was teaching, I was a full-time, lecturer in these colleges. I used to, I wanted my students to see the real India. For example, they were textile students. I designed it too. That's tie and dye work and printing work of Rajasthan, leather work of this area, Harmada side, Harmada village. Okay, so I experimented, and then I would include the photography thing also. That if you are going on a tour, how to take a photograph, how to compose as such, vertical shot, and so it became very interesting. I started enjoying that. So later I started as a part-time thing. That teaching, I can't leave teaching till now. I love teaching. So I took a part-time, because tourism is very, very, during holidays only the students will go, not in otherwise. So I mean, for me it was a part-time thing, and I just enjoyed sharing my knowledge with the students, and in fact I also used to learn from them. So now I've got a lot of schools from Bangalore coming. So I designed their tours, like the 7 cities of Delhi, because I have read, I have explored, I have sketched. So 8 city of Delhi, that Delhi has this 7 city. So I want to share. I never take them just to Red Fort. Yes, Red Fort we go because some of the kids are coming for the first time. But I make it a point to take them to Mehroli also. Why not? That's the first city. That's the first city. They should know it existed about 1,000 years old. So for me, it is more of learning and teaching what I have explored to share with the everybody. Even with the foreigners, I do the same. Not just
Super.
I don't believe in just showing the cosmetic thing. कि ये साफ सुथरा है, ये इंडिया गेट है, ये वो है. But yes, go beyond that.
So I think you very smartly integrated your art teaching in tourism. That would be the right way to put it in the
Yes.
perspective.
Yes.
Super. So now I want to move to Samir. Samir is a director of ECOWIN Tours, and he joins us again from New Delhi. Samir, I want to ask you how to get the best of travel in the ongoing pandemic, in the ongoing coronavirus times.
Hi, Jackson. Yeah, it's a very, this question is asked by many people these days, that they want to travel. They are very bored with living in their own apartments, closed apartments. They want to travel, but they are still, there's a lot of insecurity, which is very natural. India still has a lot of cases. So in the present situation, international, we still have to wait for international destination, but definitely there is a huge possibility to make Indian destination our part of travel, which we can start. You see, Kashmir is open, Uttarakhand is open now, Himachal is also open. So the best way these days is to choose the destination very wisely. We should avoid crowded destinations. So, but these destinations like mountain, sea, and national parks, which are open, they can be enjoyed because they are less crowded. This is one thing. Second thing is the basic precaution has to be taken. the good thing is that most of the hotels now are very aware. They are doing the best. They have a lot of hygiene protocols which they are following, and so we have to choose these hotels. We should not go to that different kind of hotels. We are not so good. All the good brand hotels are taking all the precautions. The driver, good. Our tour operators are very trained now to take these precautions. The drivers are coming through all kind of hygienic, taking all these hygienic precautions. So at our end, we choose our destination wisely and take the basic precautions, and we can enjoy. In fact, we can enjoy more. You see, recently Taj Mahal has opened. 3,000 visitors have gone. In normal days, 8 to 10,000 people are going. I'm talking about pre-COVID days. Now, just after the start, there were 3,000 people, and it was all good. They enjoyed because it was less crowded. It looks more beautiful with that less crowd. So this is one of the best time if you can think of. So I will recommend people to go ahead and go to these destinations.
Yeah. So, like, you always say that food, clothing, shelter are the most important essentials in our life. I want to ask you, Samir, why do you think travel is also one of the most essential things in life?
Jackson, travel is essential. Travel is one of the best education. Travel. When we travel, we learn about a place, about culture, about people, about geography. So these are so many aspects of travel. If then when we meet people, we know about their culture. It enriches our life. So apart from this is why people everywhere are traveling now. Travel has become an essential, basic need of people all around the world. And one of the most best thing is that it is the best education we can have.
So if people want to learn in life, if they want to earn in life, if they want to have amazing lifestyle, if they want to grow in life, you think travel is the best solution to all their problems?
It is not the best solution, but you see, education is essential for us, and for anyone to. Otherwise, if we don't have education, we don't grow, we don't prosper, and travel as a means of education is the best thing. Is the best thing we have in today's world. It can't be. You see, today there is a lot of virtual thing. You can go to YouTube, you can go to Google, and you can see the place. But being right there in that atmosphere is completely a different thing. It cannot replace any other thing. So it is just like you can see the photos of Goa beaches, and you are there. It's a big difference. Yeah, it is essential, and that's why we have so many big organizations of travel now, and the whole developed world gives. There are universities who give essential holidays for 1 year, 6 months, just for traveling purpose.
Interesting. I want to move to Rajkumar Velekar, who joins from Nagpur. I hope Rajkumar is listening to us. He is facing some internet issue today. Rajkumar, are you listening to us? Are you there? I think Rajkumar is still facing some problem. Let me quickly move to Rajesh. So Rajesh is the founder of SHRUTI Travels, and he joins from Indore. So Rajesh, I want to ask you, Rajesh, what is the current status of the car rental business? We've spoken about travel and tourism. आपके हिसाब से, आपकी राय में, current status क्या है car rental business का? Particularly the car rental business.
Jackson, hi Jackson, hi all the panelists. Current status अभी Jackson काफी tough है. After pandemic, car rental जो सबसे ज़्यादा इफेक्ट हुए, उसमें कार रेंटल एक बहुत बड़ी इंडस्ट्री है, और अचानक से लॉकडाउन लगा और पूरा बिजनेस एकदम शट डाउन हो गया, तो इसकी वजह से काफी प्रॉब्लम्स रही हैं उसमें। बिजनेस काफी प्रॉब्लम्स में रहा है। डोरी मारे हमें तो बिजनेस भी नहीं है, ऊपर से सभी ईएमआई वगैरह सभी एज इट इज चालू है। करंट स्टेटस की जहां तक अपन बातचीत करें तो एक सर्वे पढ़ा था मैंने जिसमें बोल रहे हैं कि करीब करीब आफ्टर पेंडेमिक जब ये ओवर हो जाएगा तो करीब करीब 40% कार रेंटल इंडस्ट्रीज खत्म हो चुकी होंगी। ये इसका करंट स्टेटस है। अभी काफी डरावनी सिचुएशन है, फेस करना भी काफी टफ है। बिजनेस है नहीं, जो पहले बिजनेस था उसका करीब करीब 20% 25% बिजनेस चल रहा है, लेकिन जो एक्सपेंसेस हैं वो तो करीब करीब सब इंटैक्ट ही है।
तो इसका फ्यूचर क्या है? हम वी ऑल नो द प्रॉब्लम, राइट? बट वी ऑल आर एंटरप्रेन्योर्स एंड वी आल्सो हैव टू फाइंड अ सॉल्यूशन। सो आपके हिसाब से फ्यूचर क्या है कार रेंटल बिजनेस का?
जैक्सन, फ्यूचर तो कार टूरिज्म इंडस्ट्री जैसे जैसे ग्रो करेगी वैसे वैसे कार रेंटल इंडस्ट्री भी ग्रो करेगी। एक्चुअली क्या है, मैं पर्टिकुलर अगर हमारी बातचीत करूं तो हम ज्यादातर कॉर्पोरेट पे डिपेंड है, और कॉर्पोरेट करीब करीब दिसंबर तक सस्पेंडेड है, वर्क फ्रॉम होम है। तो दिसंबर तक तो काफी प्रॉब्लम्स आने वाली हैं। मीनवाइल हम लोग सभी उसको कर रहे हैं, जैसे भी हो सकता है, जितना बेस्ट हो सकता है अपने कॉस्ट कटिंग कर रहे हैं, ज्यादा से ज्यादा मेहनत कर रहे हैं। अभी फ्यूचर अच्छा है, फ्यूचर में ऐसा कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। मैं ऐसा समझता हूँ कि आफ्टर दिसंबर हम लोग करीब करीब मतलब कार रेंटल इंडस्ट्री ग्रो कर जाएगी और वापस अपने पूरे फेज पे आ जाएगी।
सो आपके हिसाब से बाय दिसंबर कार रेंटल बिजनेस विल बी बैक इन बिजनेस, ऐसा आपको लग रहा है? दिसंबर तक कंफर्म? Brilliant. Now let me move to Somnath, and Somnath is a DGM of a hotel called Sinclair Hotels, and Somnath joins us from Kolkata. Somnath, I want to ask you, which sector of tourism is showing an increase in demand during a new normal? Hi.
Hi, Jackson. See, basically, after pandemic, we were really taken aback at what will happen to the tourism industry. But luckily, April, May, June was pathetic. July, slowly business picked up. And the best part is that now, as in our sector, we are into domestic hotels. The wedding business has picked up a lot. Because a lot of wedding business which got postponed. I mean, it was scheduled in April, May. It got postponed, and they're planning to do this wedding functions during December, January. So this sector has really has picked up a lot. So a lot of every day we are getting 2-3 inquiries for wedding, destination wedding, and whoever wants to go for, I mean, you know, like there are parties, there are customers, they go for big fat weddings. Now what they're doing, they're reducing their budget, and they are going places which is a driving distance from their location. So this sector, the wedding sector, has picked up a lot. So I mean, I think this will pick up. This will continue. This will continue after, meaning next year also. So that is it. Because like, wedding business are very well planned. I mean, it's been planned in a very, I mean, 6 months, 8 months in advance. Right? So this is a sector which is getting a tremendous demand. And secondly,
so when you say wedding is going to be the biggest sector in tourism, I also want to ask you, what do you think is the future of MICE business?
MICE will take time, as Mr. Rajesh has rightly said. Like till December, the corporate movement has been totally stopped. So from January, February, March, these 3 months are peak time for MICE business for insurance sector. So we are looking forward to this 3 months of this financial year that corporate business will definitely pick up. But as of now, I mean, see, the doctors' meets have totally stopped.
Okay.
But there are very few dealers' meet, which is restricted to 50 people, 40 people. That we are getting queries, but I mean, it has not been finalized till. 1 or 2 has been confirmed. So MICE will, as per my perception, MICE business will pick up post December. So let's hope for the best, because my MICE business is the bread and butter of our company. So that's the, I mean, around 60% revenue we get from MICE. So if that is hit, then we are really taken aback. So let's hope for the best. So January, February, March should be the we expect the business will pick up MICE business.
Amazing, amazing. Now, from wedding to MICE, I want to now move to global tourism, and this is where I would request Rajkumar to help us understand what are his views on global tourism sector. Rajkumar.
Yeah, first of all, I'm sorry about I think there is a network issue with me. I hope I am audible and visible as well.
Yes, yes, you are. You are.
Uh,
Please go ahead.
okay, okay. Thanks for the question regarding the global tourism sector. Actually, the travel and tourism business is especially on its knees worldwide. Countries across the world are slowly reopening their borders to allow the entry of travelers and visitors. While the coronavirus pandemic is still a global threat, government believes that after a month of lockdown, and a restriction, it's finally time to restart a normal life. We can't truly predict the future of a travel, but there are some early indicators that hint the certain changes. Yeah, like we will travel again, but it will not be the same. Even if borders reopen, traveler must trust that the boarding a plane is a safe and that they will be able to enter the destination country safely. I think collaboration is a key. Government and industry stakeholder like we have and other travel agents and tour operators have to plan for a recovery in this new situation and adapt to changing a traveler behavior. For the industry to recover, travelers will need to feel safe and confident that their health is protected. I think people will move towards a local travel and stay vacations. Fear about flying and spending a long hours at the airport will remain the same. Cleanliness is and hygiene will be the top everyone list of priority. Okay. And the wellness travel might be the more important than ever. The ongoing global pandemic has forever changed our ideas of what it means to lead a new normal life. It might take several months of travelers to feel secure about ongoing on extended vacation to the foreign destination. However, we must remain hopeful that the travel bug will make comeback with a renewed strength and we will enthusiastic about the exploring the world once again. However, in the I think overall scenario, uh, safe. First one is the safety, both perception and utility will be better. And second one is health. Government may have to introduce some short and easy mandatory checks. And third one is the hygiene. There will be no compromise on this. Travelers will make no compromise on the hygiene and hygiene. I think the brand that will stand for the quality will win. And the last one is value. I think good value for the good money will be. That's my view on a global tourism.
Superb, superb. Thank you so much for your input, Rajkumar. Now I want to move to Vikram Kalra, who joins us from New Delhi. I have a very serious question, and I would want Vikram to answer me in a very non-serious way. I will ask him, why are you so passionate about tours for children or foreigners? Because this is one segment that people are really either not passionate or extremely passionate. And I'm hoping that you are on the other side, extremely passionate about tours for children or foreigners. Vikram.
Uh, See, for children, because I was a teacher myself, almost 20 years I had been teaching, and I was teaching in the very high-end colleges where people will go to Switzerland or go to Europe at that time. People like us will go to India here and there. And I used to tell them, भैया मैं हिंदी में भी बोलूं चलेगा ना?
Sure, sure, please, please.
So I used to tell them कि भैया आप बाहर क्यों जा रहे हो? हमारे हिंदुस्तान में इतना कुछ है. So we had these textile students. So I used to take them to Rajasthan side. I used to tell them, because I'm a photographer myself, I shoot like this. So why don't you use these textures in designing a fabric? So why don't you use these elements in nature to design some fabric and then make a dress out of it? So they started seeing that yes, India has got a lot of potential. And slowly, for example, I love working with 6th class to 8th class students who are सबसे ज्यादा इनमें बच्चों में enthusiasm होता है सीखने के लिए. 11th 12th, they are grown ups at that time. So that is the time when they're reading the medieval history of India and all that. Then I enjoy doing North India, Delhi, Agra, Jaipur, and small areas. Many of the travel agent friends of mine. I'm just giving you an example. Out of these 8-day tours, I'll spend 2 nights in a small place called Abhaneri, which is just about 200 kilometers. There's just one step well over there, nothing else. I made a tour of 3 days over there, and all the travel agencies, the biggest agencies for whom I work, they said कि क्या करोगे वहाँ तो एक सिर्फ step well है. मैंने कहा वहाँ बहुत कुछ है. I can spend 1 week over there. They said how? See, it is a Gujar community over there. They have specific dances over there. I introduced them to those. They are from the high-end schools of Bangalore, so interaction with the village schools. They have never seen those kind of village schools. So it becomes very, they come to see the reality of the country. They're just not seeing the Taj Mahal as such. So I love showing the country in an actual way. In fact, I'll tell you, as a student myself, I don't mind, and I'm not ashamed of sharing. I used to fail in history in my school days. But now I'm doing all these things which are related to history. And same with the foreigners, I get the very high-end clients who want to experience the things. People who are coming by their own aeroplanes as such. So they have done three days from Oxford University. They want to see the actual Delhi. They are not interested, and many of them have told me we are not interested in Red Fort. We are not interested in Qutub Minar. Aap hame actual log dikhao. So that's what my purpose is. I hope I answered it.
Yes, you did, and that makes me ask you the next question, which Samir briefly picked up when he answered his question, that travel promotes education, and he was very kind enough to say that if you want to learn, you go travel. I want to
Yes.
ask you, keeping that context alive, what do you think is the future of education sector, education tours?
See, many of the schools, especially in South India, I'll say, they are very interested in these things. Delhi will take some time, to be honest. I'm a Delhi wala. They want to experience the things. They want to see. And in fact, I'll just tell you the biggest compliment I got from a school from Bangalore, that the students have started taking interest in history. Because the way you showed, the way you portrayed, see, when I'm doing a tour, it's not just a lecture what I'm giving. I make them interact with the locals over there. I introduced them to the magicians of Delhi. I introduced them to the various NGOs who are working, to the problems of people. So that becomes more educative in itself. In Delhi, we had taken them to one of these Sulabh Shauchalaya ka ek museum hai, toilet museum of its kind in India. So many of the students who are coming from these schools, they could not imagine that in India there are houses which do not have toilets. Is it not an education in itself? Okay, this is the problem what a common man goes through in India. So, both the things, it's a very interesting thing. That's why I've taken up schools as such, especially, and colleges.
Brilliant. So from education, I want to move to leisure, and this is where I would like Rajkumar to give us an update on Thailand, because Rajkumar's niche destination is in Southeast Asia and some part of Middle East. So Rajkumar, give us an update on Thailand. What's happening in Thailand? You can unmute and answer.
1 second.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead. Yes, Rajkumar, we can hear you. Yes, you
So
are.
I'm audible?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, the Thailand. There is some good news, as Thailand has announced that it will now allow foreign tourists into the country from October 1st itself. From tomorrow. Okay, you will have to stay there for at least a month. That is a minimum for 30 days. Shorter trips will not be permitted now. Actually, travelers will be mandated to spend the first 14 days of this minimum 30 days stay in a quarantine at the hotel or maybe at a resort. During this period, second COVID-19 test will be conducted, and only then will visitors will be allowed to travel out of the hotel and visit the Phuket. Actually, the Phuket city is the first city who welcomes the guests into the Thailand. If anyone wishes to live in Phuket and visit other parts of the Thailand, a third PCR test will be performed in the third week of their visit. So people who wanted to visit for a longer stay, they can easily go for a long vacation in a Thailand. But I don't think so that anyone go with this restriction. Only those people will go who extremely bored and tired at their home and desperately looking for a vacation. Only those people will go. Or if someone who married just and wanted to go anyhow for the honeymoon, they will also travel to Phuket. But my point of view, there is a Maldives and Dubai, both are also open with a limited restriction comparatively Thailand. And also, if we compare with the costing of a Thailand packages, it will go similar to Maldives, Dubai, and maybe costly. Even Maldives are not asking a COVID positive certificate, and for honeymooners, Maldives is a I think paradise. So
Brilliant.
that's it.
So apart from Thailand, which other destinations are open now, and what are the COVID guidelines for them?
It's a good question. Actually, there is a too much lot to talk about this. Uh, 1 second. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah.
Actually,
Go ahead.
my screen is screen. My
Okay.
screen is I'm not able to see it, so that's why I
Yeah, yeah,
think that I'm not able to.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, we can.
Can you please give me? Please give me. Can you please ask me a question again?
Yeah. So the question is, which destinations are open now, and what are the COVID guidelines for them?
Okay, okay. Actually, the as of now in international sectors, various countries are reopening their borders
Hmm.
after a month of travel bans and lockdown due to the coronavirus. Now
Hmm.
that the number of cases of coronavirus is falling in most of the countries, and the
Hmm.
outbreak of the disease appears to be under control.
Hmm.
So many of these measures are being lifted. The reopening of a borders and worldwide visa information is constantly changing. If you are
Hmm.
planning to travel, if anyone planning to travel, it is advisable to keep checking for updates on the latest travels and visa information with your travel agent or travel consultant.
Hmm. Hmm.
There are a number of locations around the world that are already open or planning to open their borders to for the travelers and the visitor in the 2020. As I am handling a destination of Asia and Middle East, so I will guide you throughout these places. Currently, the Maldives, Dubai, and Sri Lanka is open for the tourists. Bali in Indonesia is also likely to open at the end of the 2020.
Hmm.
And as I said, the Thailand is also opening from tomorrow, from 1st of October 2020. There is another popular destination for Indians which is not a part of the Asia. That is the
Hmm.
Seychelles. Its African country is now open as well.
Hmm.
Regarding the COVID guidelines, those are depend on the country to country. But the common guidelines are you have to keep a RT-PCR test which is not older than 40 to 70 hours. And
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
some countries like Dubai, they allowed 96 hours, 96 hours also. And
Hmm.
test should be done from the registered ICMR laboratories, which is clearly mentioned that COVID-19 negative. And the certificate must be signed and stamped with a healthcare provider. The provided certificate must be in English, so globally it can be readable. Certificate will not be accepted in a digital format like if you are showing on a mobile or any other devices will not be accepted. So you have to carry a hard copy.
Hmm.
Some
Hmm.
countries having a COVID app like we have a Arogya Setu. For Dubai, there is a Dubai COVID app. For Maldives, it's a Trace Aki. So you have to download and fill the required details before departure. And there are some self-declaration form and undertaking are there. You have
Hmm.
to fulfill visa requirement to visit any places like return your ticket, stay proof, original passport, as we keep do before COVID pandemic. And one more thing which is not in the list but mandatory as per the current situation, that is you have a medical travel insurance with an international coverage before traveling. You
Hmm.
also have to check guidelines with your airlines because airlines have the right to deny travelers if they display any symptoms of a COVID-19. So coordinate with the your airlines as well. Regarding the quarantine rule, A 14 days quarantine is imposed for all tourists who shows the symptoms on arrival and are retested if shows the positive COVID-19 results. The traveler will bear the cost of treatment and isolation. Okay, for Maldives, tourists are not required to produce a certificate or a test result indicative that a negative status of COVID-19 prior to entry to Maldives. So it's a good news for the travelers who wanted to visit the Maldives. Those rules are common and applies for all destinations. It will be advisable before you plan to travel to those countries. Kindly consult with your travel agent or travel consultant, or you can also contact with the tourism board, or you can also be connected with your airlines. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Now, so thank you, Rajkumar, for a detailed update on the guidelines. Now, I want to come to Samir, and let's talk some business. And can you share with us three things that can make or break a tour?
People travel, and people save money almost sometimes for a year just to make a travel, and few things which they just miss out, that makes a very bad experience sometimes. So especially for Indian tourists like us, which they have started to travel, but still we don't get much training in a school that what is the best way to travel. Europeans are different. They learn to travel from school. हमारे यहाँ वो नहीं होता, तो हम बड़े हो जाते हैं और उसके बाद हम जाते हैं कहीं, और बिल्कुल एक उल्टा एक्सपीरियंस होता है. तो बहुत छोटी सी बातें हैं. थ्री थिंग्स अगर मैं कहूँ तो इट इज जस्ट लाइक, सबसे पहले वी शुड हैव अ लिटिल a good knowledge of destination, where we are going, what kind of place is that, what kind of landscape, what kind of climate, what kind of activity we are going to do there. So knowledge of destination is very important, because even in India we have very different kind of destinations. हमारे यहाँ सब कुछ है. We have sea, beaches, we have deserts, we have mountains, we have forest, we have national parks. So it's very important that we should understand that what is the requirement when we are going there. For a desert, we need to have that kind of shoe. For a mountain, if we are going for trekking, we need to wear that kind of dress. In a national park, you have a completely different set of rules. We need to have a more camouflage kind of color of dresses. So knowledge of destination, little bit of research, which your travel agent will always help you, because he is the best expert. He has experience. So you will ask a question, or travel agent is always ready to give you this guidance. Second main thing is, it comes to the same point, we need to pack well. हमारे Indian tourist, as an Indian tourist, this is a very normal thing. हम पूरा घर लेके चलते हैं. और होता क्या है कि sometimes the luggage is like the whole home. अरे 10 दिन के लिए छुट्टी पे जाना है, so this is one thing. Most of the time, as a travel tour operator myself, मैंने सीखा है कि people feel lot of dresses. Those dresses वो कभी जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ती. So and they keep a lot of less cash. So जबकि उल्टा होता है. One of the best thing is I just give a tip कि आपको जितना ले जाना है वो सारे कपड़े आप बेड पे रख दीजिए, और जितना आपने सोचा है उसका हाफ कर दीजिए. उतने ही कपड़े की जरूरत पड़ेगी, और हो सकता है कि उतने कपड़े की भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. But yeah, keep extra cash, keep documents. That documents are necessary. Keep a photocopy at home. Keep some digital. Anything gets lost, have a very good travel agent. A good experienced travel agent always helps you in these matters, in emergency situations. So this is to pack well. Third thing is, when we reach the destination, we should have a little bit of research कि हम कौन सी activity, हमारा schedule क्या है, what kind of activities we are doing to do, and when we have children, they should not be bored. When we have senior citizens, उनका कैसा care होगा. So we have to plan our activities, we have to plan our schedules. And one very important thing, Uh, in some destinations, for example, Char Dham, these days Char Dham has opened and we have already started bookings. Char Dham, in such places, what happens that weather, the climate can change anytime. Road blockage हो सकता है, and if you have to take a return flight, you will miss that. So, keeping in view, you discuss with your travel agent these situations and always keep a space, always plan a schedule, maybe keep some extra time for these situations. And that will make a very memorable tour. There is nothing, no, and it will be fun. But yeah, small things can create a very bad experience.
Yeah, that's a very interesting answer, but also that brings me to the next question, and this is something that most people have been thinking and contemplating कि ये तो हम खुद भी कर सकते हैं. Why do we need to have a travel agent? And this is one of the biggest questions that people always face. We have got online websites and we have Google and we have got so many other things. Why do we need to have a travel agent?
Jackson, yes, this is a very important question, and people always feel like, okay, आज we have so many websites now. We have travel booking, we have hotel bookings, we have car rentals. These are that is not only travel. Sometimes we forget that there is a lot of small things that complete a travel. Just booking a hotel, even booking a hotel, you are doing. You can go and you can see a lot of hotels. But in fact, a travel agent who knows you, maybe he's your neighbor or who just lives nearby, who talks to you on phone, he knows what is your exact requirement, and he has the complete database back of his mind. So he will first of all he will does most of your 90% of your job for you. What kind of hotel you need, what kind of requirement you really have in terms of transportation, what kind of person you are. He knows you, so he can plan your schedule accordingly, and this you can't go just through an online website. In a hotel, you can just from booking.com, you can just go to book a hotel, but sometimes the hotel details are not exactly correct. The feedback, the travel agents gets a feedback regularly from those hotels, from different customers. So he is very well aware, and he doesn't of this thing. Another thing is there can be moment of emergency situations. Sometimes you are in a hotel at 2 o'clock at late at night. Something happens. The hotel staff is not there sometimes. In a website where you have booked, nobody will pick up a call. But there, the travel agent, true travel agent or a tour operator always have his phone 24/7 open. He knows that you may be in need. And that is where those small emergency solutions can that's why most of the guests, most of the experienced travel know this. That's why they always use a travel agent rather than just going to book a hotel or book a car just a car or taxi online. So because the travel agent is the true friend when you travel. He becomes your true friend, and in fact the best friend during your time of travel.
So if you want a best friend, you have to have a travel agent.
That's very true.
Brilliant. So now let me move to Rajesh Srivastava, who joins from Indore. And Rajesh briefly spoke to us about the challenges that he's facing in car rental. I want to ask Rajesh, what are the steps taken in the new normal? क्या आपने steps लिए हैं business को सुधारने के लिए आपके car rental business के?
जैक्सन, आफ्टर पेंडेमिक बहुत सारी चीजों की जिम्मेदारी अचानक आई. कस्टमर सबसे ज्यादा इंटरेक्ट करता है, सबसे ज्यादा टच पॉइंट करते हैं जब कार में ट्रेवल करता है. सैनिटाइजेशन सबसे जरूरी था. गाड़ियों को हमने प्रॉपर सैनिटाइज करना चालू किया. उसके बाद ड्राइवर्स, जितने भी ड्राइवर्स वगैरह थे, उनको सभी मास्क भी देना रहता है, उनको ग्लव्स देने रहते हैं. कार में शीट लगानी पड़ी, सेपरेशन शीट बिटवीन कस्टमर एंड ड्राइवर, ये सारी तैयारियां करनी पड़ी। जो पहले हम करते थे, पानी की बोतल्स, न्यूज़पेपर, ये सारी चीजें रिमूव करनी पड़ी। इसकी जगह पे ज्यादा फोकस हमारा सैनिटाइजेशन पर बहुत आया। और इवन ये रहा कि कभी करीब करीब एवरी ट्रिप के बाद हमको सैनिटाइजेशन करना पड़ता है। एक ट्रिप कंप्लीट होती है, उसके बाद गाड़ी दोबारा से सैनिटाइज होती है। सैनिटाइजर भी हमें सब हाई क्वालिटी के यूज करने पड़ते हैं, क्योंकि सभी कॉर्पोरेट कस्टमर है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कस्टमर है। कस्टमर तो खैर सभी के लिए एक जैसे इंपॉर्टेंट है, पर हमारे पास टच पॉइंट्स बहुत हैं। तो उन टच पॉइंट्स को ध्यान में रखते हुए जितनी भी तैयारी हो सकती थी वो सभी कर रहे हैं। फिजिकल ड्यूटी स्लिप सभी रिमूव कर दी। अभी जितना भी कामकाज होता है पूरा ऑनलाइन ही होता है। ऑनलाइन बुकिंग आएगी, ऑनलाइन ड्राइवर डिटेल जाएगी, ऑनलाइन ही ड्यूटी स्लिप साइन होगी। ये सारी चीजें अभी अचानक से ही करनी पड़ी। हालांकि हम लोग पहले से भी ऑनलाइन थे, तो इसकी इतनी ज्यादा समस्या नहीं रही। बाकी काफी सारे कार रेंटल ऑपरेटर्स को ये प्रॉब्लम फेस करनी पड़ी। अचानक से टेक्नोलॉजी पे डिपेंड मूव हो जाना उतना आसान नहीं रहता। वो प्रॉब्लम जरूर हुई थी, पर हमारे साथ ये नहीं रही, क्योंकि हम टेक्नोलॉजी पर काफी पहले से ही मूव हो चुके थे। और इवन मतलब मैं मेरी कंपनी के बारे में बताऊं तो जब चाइना में चल रहा था जनवरी में, हमने सैनिटाइजर्स तब से प्रोवाइड करना चालू कर दिया था हमारे कस्टमर्स को। सैनिटाइजर लोगों ने उस टाइम से प्रोवाइड करना चालू कर दिया था। ये तो बाद में मार्च अप्रैल के बाद सभी लोग मूव हुए, लेकिन हम लोगों ने तभी से चालू कर दिया था।
इंटरेस्टिंग। बट ये सब करने में राजेश खर्चा भी आता होगा। सो मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहता हूँ कि हाउ डू यू मेंटेन अ बैलेंस बिटवीन द प्राइस वॉर एंड द कॉस्ट कटिंग? आप कैसे उसको मैनेज करते हो?
जैक्सन, ये एक बड़ा टिपिकल सवाल है। अभी एक कोटेशन था शायद रतन टाटा का कि ये साथ जिंदा रहने का है, तो अभी हम सिर्फ बहुत जिंदा रहने वाले कामकाज कर रहे हैं। प्रॉफिट जैसी तो कोई चीज है नहीं अभी। बिजनेस रखना ही है, कंटिन्यू रखना है। तो ये टफ है, थोड़ा सा टफ है। मतलब मैं सिर्फ ये नहीं कहूंगा कि हमारी कॉस्टिंग बढ़ी इसलिए। अगर कॉर्पोरेट की बात करें तो सभी कॉर्पोरेट्स को इसका इम्पैक्ट आया। तो हर कोई ये चाह रहा है कि बैलेंस करने के लिए कॉस्ट कटिंग करें, और जहाँ कॉस्ट कटिंग कहाँ पे होगी, हम तो एक बड़ा सेगमेंट है जहाँ पर कॉस्ट कटिंग हो सकती है। पूरा ट्रबल रुका हुआ है हमारा तो कॉर्पोरेट्स में। कंपनीज जिनके साथ ऑलरेडी हम डील्स कर रहे हैं, उन्होंने एटलीस्ट 10 to 15% रिड्यूस कर दिए रेट्स। तो बैलेंस करने में बस यही है कि सब तो जिंदा ही रहना है और जिंदा रहने के लिए कामकाज कर रहे हैं।
Amazing. That's the spirit, Rajesh. That's the spirit. Now, Somnath, I want to ask Somnath, what do you think? Which type of destinations do you think would be of higher demand during a new normal?
See, Jackson, as per my opinion, I would say people will restrict themselves in traveling abroad nowadays. Just before the situation gets normal and the vaccine comes out, so I would think that people would be more preferring in domestic locations, which would be driving distance, and that is what I suggest, that driving distance and where the sanitization part, as Mr. Rajesh has rightly said, these would be the high priority. So driving distance would be the first, and people will take time to go to abroad currently. As per my knowledge, people are there, and people who used to go for foreign travel every year, they will restrict themselves. They will go to domestic locations first, and then they would once situations becomes more normal, they would prefer traveling.
Also, one very
traveling
important thing I wanted to ask you, Somnath. You are from the hotel industry, from the hotel business. What would be the prime requirements or preferences of the guests from a hotel post-COVID situation? What's your take on this?
See, basically, what we have observed, that people who used to, the corporate clients who used to be very cost sensitive, and they used to have certain entitlements. They would not give more for a particular booking. Their prime now is that how the hotel is. They are going to hotels which are which are the quality of stay, the sanitization part has been taken care. So they are looking for quality hotels. Maybe, I mean, in competition, they used to go for the hotels where their budget was less. So they are not taking that risk. They are going to the locations where the quality of stay would better in terms of the sanitization part is taken care of. What we are doing, that we are doing fumigation. We do fumigation after a guest checks out, but we make it a point to bring in confidence to the customers. We do fumigation as well before the guests. We do fumigation in front of the customers, the guests who checks in. So that gives a lot of confidence that yes, they take care of the hygienity, and the sanitization part is their priority. And also, like in terms of the restaurant part, I mean, they also, I mean, we have incorporated contactless serving of food, and the people with face shield and mask, that we are taking care of. So these things, apart from the food part and all, but these things are the main priority. So we are focusing on this, and that's it. And also one thing, they are also like, since people are trying to going to destinations where they don't travel by road, we are also, I mean, doing something about the drivers' accommodation. We never used to give some more importance to the drivers' accommodations, but now we are, as per the feedback of the customers, we are also, I mean, improving the drivers' accommodation part, and because that will be the prime focus currently. So I think these are the things which we are giving more focus on.
Interesting. Thank you so much for that update and that information, Somnath. Now we have 5 minutes left, and I will quickly ask each one of you one important question pertaining to your business, and I will start with Vikram. Vikram sir, what's so special about virtual tours, and why should people join your virtual tours on different cities?
See, it's basically these explorations are through my sketches of different places. I've got a huge collection of sketches of Delhi. I've done it on Punjab. I was sharing Odisha and all that. So right now, when it is actual tour ka maza aur hai, definitely you can feel the place. But right now, like we are selling these tours to various schools, and like because they are also getting bored with this online classes all the time classes. So the students and their families join us right now to know about Delhi. People sitting in Chennai are doing it with me. People sitting in other places, there are inquiries from Calcutta, also from schools in Gurgaon. So we are doing it so that they get a break from their monotonous just study. So, and plus knowledge also. So that's a new venture for us also. We have got a new market actually.
And I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best on that. Moving on to Samir. Samir, quickly tell us, what are the destinations that can be explored in these COVID times? Samir.
Three kinds of destinations, Jackson. One is, and all are these secluded destinations. Sea, you can go to sea, you can go to mountains, and you can go to national parks. Three kind of, all जो कि और सब जगह से अलग है. चार धाम यात्रा शुरू हो चुकी है. It's a very good news. Kashmir is open, Himachal is open, and the very good thing is कि ये सब अभी यहाँ पे जो हम हमेशा कंप्लेन करते थे कि इन सब जगहों में तो हमेशा भीड़ ही रहती है, बहुत होटल नहीं मिलते, इतनी ज्यादा रश रहती है, जो कि एक रेगुलर कंप्लेन थी छुट्टियों के समय में. these are very safe now. अभी आपको बिल्कुल खाली मिलेगा, और अभी you can, I mean, those people who have time and they can definitely go to this destination. Char Dham Yatra is open. Kedarnath is Yatra is open. So yeah, these three destinations. There are national parks जो अब खुल रहे हैं. We can explore those also.
Amazing. And Rajkumar, what do you think? What is your advice for travelers who are seeking a short or long break or a vacation post Diwali or Christmas or the New Year?
Before you start planning a trip, check the status of your government travel advisory and follow its advice. Look for the destination, hotels, and the travel operators that are following a COVID-19 safety guidelines. Seek out the countries or a domestic destination where COVID-19 cases numbers are very lower side. Always wear a mask on flight and wear wherever requested at your destination. If there are a few restrictions at your destination, consider wearing a mask in a public anywhere. I think practice social distancing, maintaining a distance of a 6 feet and more from people outside your own household or your immediate travel companions. Comply with all local guidelines. If a destination has a mandatory quarantine for arrival who test positive, know this before you go. Don't turn around and get on a plane to home because of potentially infecting 100 of more fellow travelers, not full at all. I think. Wash your hand throughout and regularly, and avoid touching your faces and mouth, etc., and ears and eyes also, as well. Further
Great.
safety, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm,
Go ahead. We can hear you. Yeah.
further safety and hygiene advice can be found here. If you have any symptoms of COVID-19 or think you may have been exposed, do not travel on that period. Don't be assume that because of a place has opened up, there is no longer any risk. Some places may have opened due to political and economical pressure as well. So rather than because it has eliminated the virus only. Keep
Great.
in mind, even if yeah, please
Yeah.
go, please. That's
Yeah. So great update on that. And quickly, I want to ask you a few questions that our viewers have posted. So the first question is there, do you still need 14 days isolation if you're traveling in India, anywhere in India? Do you still need 14 days isolation?
no, actually, if the symptoms is if showing on the arrival of the airport or any other border, if the government government people will check you through a thermal scanning, etc. If you are if any people or any traveler showing that if you have a any symptoms, then only you have to 14 days quarantine you have required.
Brilliant. So
You will be
yeah.
the government will test COVID-19 of yours, and if the result will come, then you have to quarantine for the 14 days.
Amazing. So that's it. Thank you so much, guys. Our time is up. I would love to ask you so many other questions, but it's already 5 p.m. and I want to respect your time. So thank you so much, Vikram, Sameer, Rajkumar, Somnath, and Rajesh for your valuable time. The viewers really had a great time listening to you, and I'm sure the entire concept of restart tourism will be in place, and people will start traveling, and the businesses will be back to normal. With that note, I would like to thank you once again for your time, and I wish you all the very best for your business. Vikram, Sameer, Rajkumar, Somnath, and Rajesh, do well. And you still have a lot to achieve in life, and I'm sure from December or from January we will have things getting back to normal, and we will see customers traveling, and we will see travel entrepreneurs making a lot of money. So this is just a phase which I call pause. It's just a pause button in our life, in our business life, and I'm sure we will be up and running once again from December and Jan. Thank you so much for your time, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jackson. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.